In the last tutorial, we have seen some introduction about the Ionic framework. So in this tutorial, we'll see something like how to set up the Ionic framework in your system, as well as how to create the project inside the Ionic framework. So we'll try to create three different types of projects. One is blank, side menu, and tabs, and I'll show you how to run it in the browser. Okay. So first of all, when you want to use the Ionic framework in your system, you have to install the Node.js. So you can go to this website, and from here you can download the Node.js based upon your operating system. So after downloading this one, you can install directly in your system. And then what you can do is, if it is a Mac machine, open the terminal. If it is a Windows machine, open the Node.js command prompt. So after opening this one, simply you have to give this command. Directly you can go to the terminal and you can give npm install -g ionic CLI. You can give this command directly. So when you give this command directly, it will install the Ionic framework in your system. And after that, so as we are using the Ionic with AngularJS, so we need to install the latest version of the AngularJS also. So when you want to install the latest version of the AngularJS, you can use the next command. Okay, you can use the next command like Ionic Angular at the rate latest. So you can use this command. So when you give this command, it will install the latest version of the AngularJS in your system. So first of all, you need to install the Ionic framework, then you have to install the AngularJS. When both the things are done, then what you can do is we can start creating our projects. We can start creating the Ionic project. So now we will see how to create the projects based upon the different types. So here in the Ionic framework, by default, we have the starter templates for the project. One is blank, and the second one is side menu, and the third one is tabs. So we'll try to create the projects and we'll run it in the browser, and I'll show you how it will work. Okay. So here, I want to create the projects here. So I'll go into the folder cd space dev-apps, and here inside this folder I want to create my project. So Ionic start, you can give the application name. So whatever the project name or application name you want to give, you can give the application name here. So my blank app. Okay, and then you have to mention the type of the project here. So already I mentioned by default we have the starter templates like blank, side menu, and tabs. So here you can mention the type of the project which you want to create. So here I want to create a blank project. I'm writing Ionic start, application name blank, and then I want to use the AngularJS inside the Ionic framework. So simply I'm writing --type equals to Angular. Okay, so whatever the backend project structure is there, I want to create the Ionic project with the help of the capacitor. So I'm using --, capacitor. Okay. So in this way, you can create a blank project. So now I'll try to create a blank project here. Okay, it is creating the project inside my folder. You can see here. So this is my folder. Inside the folder, it is creating the blank project, my blank app. It will try to download the complete setup from your from the internet. So once the project is created, then we can run the project. So here I am creating a blank project. So in the same way, so now the blank project has been created. In the same way, we can create the side menu and tabs. So this I want to change the package project name here, the folder name, my side menu app, and here instead of blank, I want to create a side menu application. So simply I'll write side menu. Okay, so here I'll creating a one more application, that is my side menu app. So now you can see in the folder. So in the folder, it is creating the my side menu app here. Okay. So once the projects are created, then we'll run it in the browser. So it is downloading the side menu template into my project. Okay, so now the side menu project is created here. Okay, so in the same way, I want to create the tabs application also. I'll do the same command. I'll change the application name and the type of the project here. So my tabs app, and then here I'll write instead of side menu, I'll write tabs. Okay, so here it will create the project. So let it create the project. Now I'll show you. I'll take a new window in the terminal, and I'll show you how to run the project. So when you want to run the project in the browser, so now what you have to do is, so you have to be inside your project folder. So here my project folder is my blank app. So I'm going inside my blank application. So now whenever you want to run your code in the browser, you can use command Ionic sir. You can use the command Ionic sir to run your project. So now see here, now the blank application is running in the browser. So here, whenever you want to run your code, basically you need to use the Chrome browser. So you need to set the Chrome as a default browser so that you can see the output properly. Okay. So whenever it is there, now see, you can see here clearly it is giving me compiled successfully. Now it will show your project in the browser. So now you can see here. So directly the blank project has been opened here. So now you can use this. This is nothing but my blank project. Okay, this is my blank project. The same way I can run one more here. I can run my side menu project also. So cd space my side menu app, and you can use the answer here. So it will try to run the my side menu app here in the browser. So now it is running my side menu application here. So this is my side menu application which is running in the browser. So in the same way, you can run the tabs application also here. So now, so just whenever you want to create a project, you can create the project with the help of the starter templates here. By default, you have the blank side menu and tabs. You can use the type as side menu or tabs or blank to create the project, and simply to run it in the browser, you can use the Ionic server. You can use the Ionic server to run in the browser directly. You can now see here. So the first one is blank application, and second one is side menu, and third one is tabs here. So now if you want to see, basically if you want to see the output like a mobile view, in that case what you can do is just right click on this one, click on inspect, click on inspect, and here you click on inspect. Here in the Chrome browser you have an option toggle device toolbar. You can click on this toggle device toolbar so that you can view your complete code as an mobile application. Okay, so you see here. So now by default it is showing the what are the code which is there, the hybrid application code. The blank application is displayed inside some that is like an iPhone view. So here you can choose the different types of devices here. Like you can choose something like Galaxy S5, or you can choose some Pixel 2 here. So whatever device you want to choose, you can choose some devices to see the output. So in the same way for this one also. For side menu also click on inspect here, and then you can see by default you will have the side menu here like. And for the last one also the same thing. Click on inspect to see the mobile view here. So now you can see here this is your iPhone view for your tabs. So just I want to refresh so that I can show you the difference between the iPhone and Android view here. So by default, whenever you're creating the project, what happens is like the UI, whatever the user interface is laid, the user interface will be loaded based upon the platform. So here I have chosen the iPhone. So here the UI is loaded based upon the iPhone UI. So now I'll choose Pixel 2. Okay, so when I choose Pixel 2 here, now see here it is trying to load the Android UI for your application. So that is the advantage of your Ionic framework. So this is the advantage of your Ionic framework and all. Okay, so now we have created three starter applications. One is blank, and the second one is side menu, and third one is tabs. Okay, so in this way you can create the product inside the Ionic framework. Okay, yeah. So next thing what you can do is, so now I want to open my project. So what are the project is there? I want to open the project, and then we will discuss about the project structure. So whatever the project which you have created now, we can open that project and we can discuss about the project structure. So in order to do that, so now what I'll do is I'll open my Visual Studio Code here. Okay, I'll open my Visual Studio Code, click on open folder, and here you can go to the desktop here. Inside desktop, in the dev apps, we have created the project. You can go to this project and click on open. Okay, so now see here. So now this is my project which is open inside my Visual Studio Code. Okay, so now here basically we have something like different folders are there. So now we will discuss about the different folder structure. Basically we will discuss about the folders which are there inside our project. Okay, so in order to do that, you can see here. So here you can see the project structure. So in the project structure, basically we have node underscore modules folder. So this one, the node underscore module folder, basically it consists of npm packages. It consists of npm packages that are installed inside your project. Okay, so here if you want, you can delete this folder, and if you want to regenerate the folder, you can use one command, that is npm install. With the help of the npm install, you can again regenerate this node underscore modules folder. Okay, and the next one is so here when you are working on the when you are adding the platforms, so up to now we are running our code only in the browser, but we didn't add any platform like Android or iOS. So when you add the Android and iOS platform, it will generate a new folder that is called as resources folder. So in this resources folder, what happens is like you will have the assets. So basically you will have the assets like your application logo and this splash screen. So whatever the platform which you are using, suppose if you are using Android platform, so it will try to generate the resources for your Android devices. So if you are using iOS platform, so when you give some command, it will try to generate the resources for your iOS application. Okay, so basically in the resource folder you will have the icon and the splash screen. Okay, and next we have the source folder. So in the source folder, basically it is an important folder where the majority of the app will be developed. Okay, so this is an important folder where we will write our code. Okay, so whatever the code is there, whenever you want to write the code for your application, it has to be inside the source folder. Okay, so next one is this www folder. So this folder is nothing but basically all the compiled files. So whenever you're using Ionic server and all, your code is compiled, right? So whatever the code is compiled, all the compiled files will be stored inside this www folder. Okay, so in this www folder, you will have all the compiled files. And next one is you have angular.json. So this is the main configuration file for your Angular CLI. This is the main configuration file for your Angular CLI. And next one is you have the package.json file. So in this package.json file, basically you will have, or you can find all the dependencies which are used inside your project. Okay, so you can find all the dependencies which are used inside your project and all. Basically, they are used for building and compiling your workflow. Those dependencies are used for building and compiling your workflow and all. And the last one is here inside this folder you have tsconfig.json file. So this is the main configuration file. It needs to be in the root path, and basically so whenever you're compiling this file, the TypeScript compiler will look for this tsconfig.json file. So once it finds this file, then only your code will be compiled and all. Okay, then only your code will be compiled. So this is the main project structure which you have seen. So inside this complete project structure, we have the main folder source. So in the source folder, now we write the code. Okay, we need to write the code inside the source folder. So basically this is like this is where most of the work of your Ionic app will take place. Okay, so whatever the code you want to write for your application, that code has to be written inside your source folder. Okay, so now we will see what all things are there inside our source folder. Okay, so now you can go to your source folder. So inside the source folder, basically the first thing is you have the app folder. So inside this app folder, we have all the components, modules, and the pages, services, styles, and all. Okay, these are used to build your app. Okay, so inside this app folder, we have the components, modules, pages, services, and styles. So all these things will be used to build your app. Okay, and the next one is assets folder. So inside the assets folder, basically you can have the sample images, or you can have some icons, or you can have some sample data JSON files and all. You can have it here. Okay. So next one is environments. So in the environment, basically you have the configuration. It's like a basically it's like your configuration file where you will be having the different environment variables. Okay. So you will be having different environment variables inside the environments folder. Okay. So the next one is a theme folder. So inside this theme folder, basically you will be including all the themes and variables and SASS. So you will be having basically the theming and all will be there inside the theme folder. Okay. And next one we have is index.html point. Basically index.html file here. So inside this index.html file, what happens is like this is the main entry point for your app. So whenever you run your application after compiling, it will run in the browser, right? So whenever it is running, so this is the main entry point where your application will be run. Okay. And next one is you have tsconfig.app.json file. So basically this is used to add some specific configurations for your app. Okay, like angular.json file. So basically it is used to add some specific configurations to your file and all, to your project and all. Okay. And the next one is you have tsconfig server.json file. Okay, so this tsconfig server.json file, basically it is used to add some configuration for your server. Like it is also used inside your angular.json file. Okay, and the last one is you have main.json file. Inside the main.json file, you have basically this is like the app manifest file. Basically, it is used for the progressive web apps. Okay, this main.json file is nothing but it's like an manifest file which will be used for your progressive web apps. Okay, so that is about your source folder. Okay, so that is about your source folder. So inside the app folder, you will be creating some components, page and all here, and then you have assets folder where you will be storing some sample JSON or something like some some icons and all you can store inside asset folder. Next, in the environment folder, you will be storing, basically you will be declaring some constants, or you will be declaring something like some configuration things and all inside the environment. And next thing is you have the theme folder, where here you will be defining the theme for your application. You will be defining some theme for your application here. And you have global.scss file. This global.scss is nothing but you will have the global CSS code that can be used throughout your application. And in the same way, you have your index.html file. This is the entry point. So your app will be, whenever you compile your application, when you run it, your application will search for this app minus root. This is nothing but your entry point for your app, where from this point only your app will be executed. From this point, your app will be executed. Okay. So now, so next one is we will see about the app folder. Okay, we will see about the app folder now. Okay, so inside the app folder, basically we have the app component.html file, this one. So basically, so inside this app component.html file, you can see now we have ion router outlet. Okay, so basically this app component.html file is like a skeleton for your app. This app component.html file is like a skeleton for your app. So this ion router outlet will render all the routes. So basically you can say like it's like a wrapper. Basically it's like a container where you load all your pages. It's like a container where you load all your pages and all. Okay, and the next one is we have app component.ts file. So it is the Angular component that provides functionality to the HTML file. Okay, so it is the Angular component that provides functionality to the HTML file. Basically, in this template we have all the code for the side menu and all. Okay, so in this template we'll have all the code for your side menu and all. Okay, and the next one is app module.ts file. So inside the app module.ts file, this is the main module for your Ionic project. Okay, so this is the main module for your Ionic project. So here basically when you're using some external libraries like Angular translate and all, you will be declaring those libraries inside the imports and all. And here you will be having some capacitor plugins are there. Whenever you use some plugins, the plugins will be declared inside the providers and all. Okay, that's what you'll be doing in this app module.ts file. And the next one is, the last one is you have app routing module.ts file. Okay, so here we define the main routes and all. Okay, so here we define the main routes and all. So you can see here path equals to empty means nothing but it defines the starting page of the application. We are giving home page. So whenever you run your blank project, so what is happening is like, so this home page will be loaded as the starting page of your application. Okay, it will be loaded as the starting page of the application. So all these routes, what are the routes are there? All these routes are registered inside the root module. Okay, all these routes are registered inside the root module, inside the app module. So inside the app module, all these routes will be defined. Okay, so here basically whenever you are generating some pages and all, suppose you want to use some login page, registration page and settings page or something. So whenever you want to use some pages, so we need to generate that pages. So whenever you are generating a new page, that page will have some path here. So the route will be defined inside this by default. Okay, so with the help of those routes only, you can load your pages or you can navigate from one page to another page. So this is some basic structure of your project and all. Okay, so we have seen what is the project structure, and inside that we have seen something like the source folder. What is source folder? And inside the source folder we have the app folder. So this is about the basic code structure for your project. Okay, this is a basic project structure in the Ionic framework and all. So the same structure will be followed in all the applications. Okay, the same structure will be followed in all the applications. Okay, so that's it. Thank you guys.